tell me about what happened and at what point were you concerned?
I was concerned too late. Let's say that. The water started, I heard some gurgling noises in my pipes, and I was actually talking to a friend on the phone, and I said to her, I've got to go, there's some weird noises. So I looked out the front, and there was water in the front yard, in the front patio area. But because, I've been here a long time, I didn't think it would go any further. But the houses down towards the river a little further, they do flood. And so I actually have someone I know down there who's a single mum. So I actually went down to her house to help her lift her stuff into the second story of her house. By the time I got back to my house, it was already knee deep inside.
And how long was that?
Half an hour maybe.
So 30 minutes to come up that far?
Yeah.
Was there any kind of warnings before then?
No. So we had the warning for Jasper to say evacuate when there was nothing. We didn't even have rain or wind, and they said evacuate. And I'm not in a red zone, so I didn't think. Technically, just a couple of houses here are orange. So I didn't worry too much. And I didn't get any flood warning at all until I'd already evacuated. So we left at about that level. And about an hour, I think, or two after that, we got our first evacuate flood warning.
So you were already at waist deep and then you get the warnings?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So basically we were inside, just, everything was already sort of wet because we were up here. And so I just said, just quick pack a bag, just grab whatever, because we were trying to put things up and like higher. But the fridge inside is just here. The fridge lifted up and fell over. And then I was like, right, grab a bag, we're leaving. And just chucked a couple of things in a bag. Like I literally had a spare set of clothes, my laptop, and my soda water machine. Because I don't drink coffee, so I had a Pepsi Max so I'd have caffeine for the morning. My husband, he lives in Japan, and he was just visiting the children for their Christmas holidays. So he arrived on Saturday. So it was just the three of us, and we grabbed some stuff and had to come out the back door because the water was already up at the front door and sort of coming in. So I thought the back door would be the way to go. And so, you can see the line up there, and just waded out through there. And my dad's in a 2-story house, so we just waded through the street to his house.
So what's the loss and damage?
So car completely underwater, everything. So it was about, so high, so pretty much everything. The things that I was trying to chuck up onto furniture that I thought I could try and keep, all of that's gone because the furniture lifted and fell over. And that's something I didn't realise, is we just thought put it up high. But we didn't realise the water would lift everything. So the things that we'd chucked on the beds, they were okay. So the beds floated. So interestingly enough, my husband grabbed a drawer out of the dresser and said, what about your important paperwork drawer? And I said, because it's lots of stuff, I'm like, I can't take that, leave it. And he just chucked it on the bed. So that survived.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a bonus.
Luckily, it is, because I was just speaking to someone at the hub today, and they're having trouble because all their ID is gone. So now they can't do grants and they can't get any money because they can't prove who they are, apparently.
Yeah.
So at least I have that.
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
So obviously you told me just before that you are not insured. So what's your next step?
I don't know. I bought this to renovate, so I'm just going to wait to see what happens with the council to see how I have to change my plans to make it feasible. I'm hoping just to keep the same plan, but just to build on the roof. But
Okay, so not planning on moving? No.
no.
You're you like it here.
Yes,
Yeah.
I bought here because I really wanted to buy in Machans.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a Machans person, so that's, put my effort into getting
So you
something
want to
here.
get your house to livable state.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much do you reckon that's going to cost?
I wouldn't have a clue. I mean, if I just had to just make it livable, it wouldn't be too much. I was lucky in that it is all brick. So, I mean, I'll have to replace all the door frames and all the doors, all the cupboards, the kitchen cupboards, the bathroom vanity, that sort of stuff. And because, like, I just bought it, so all the air conditioners are brand new and all of them went underwater. So, there's that. So I would maybe save 30 to 50,000 just to put it back to what it is. Machans floods, our road floods in, every so many years. It's not unusual for the suburb to flood, but not in people's houses. So we're used to having, wet roads or, a little bit of something here when a cyclone happens. I mean, we've got photos back in the day of the kids being pulled along in their boogie boards, surfing, in the school grounds and that sort of thing. So we've always had, and then the community effort afterwards has always been wonderful to help out whatever needs to be done.
But never this extreme.
Never,
No.
yeah, yeah. So my dad's been in his house since 82 and it's never been inside his house. So, and he got the same, so because he's right there. So he's,
Completely underwater.
I think because he has gyprock downstairs, so he's cut it at 1.3 because it was 1.2.
So it was 1.3 high through the house.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy. Obviously, you didn't receive any calls to say evacuate now. This is going to be a bad flood. So what do you think about that situation?
I mean, it's difficult because I don't think anyone knew, even if, it's never been like this ever before. So it's hard to say you should have done this and you should have done that. If it's unprecedented, who's going to know that someone should have? But yeah, it was, we had mostly locals rescuing people. So a lot of my neighbours here in behind us is what I saw. So I didn't see what happened on this street because I was around the corner. So I saw what happened on the back street, my rear neighbours. So a lot of those people are, and it's similar to this. So on the ground, little old beach shack. And they were getting taken out throughout the evening in boats after having to call people to help them. And the SES came, so no complaints on the SES, but the majority of people coming were locals with boats. We had people on kayaks checking on, people and taking them out.
So once you were like, we've got to go, we've grabbed our stuff, we put everything up as high as you can go. What was your next move? Where were you going to go? We all flooded in. There's no way in or out.
Yeah,
What's
so we can't leave. So what we do is just go to someone's house, a high story house. So at my dad's across the road is stumped. It's not high, but it's off the ground. And then on the other corner across the road is a high set house. So all the neighbours around were just in between those three houses. And then we were literally spent the day on the second story, not being able to leave, just yelling over the road at each other. So this house had power because they had their generator, is just a little portable one that they lifted up. My dad didn't because he has one that is built into his house and it was on the ground level. So the generator was underwater. The house over the road, they didn't have power, but yeah, we were just sort of yelling at each other. Can we come to your house if this one goes under? Only if you share your generator. It was pretty, just everybody's trying to keep their spirits up. So especially there was a few kids around. You don't want to be, running and screaming. It's just going to make it worse for them. And, they're stressed. There's pets in unfamiliar environments that have just been taken and they're stressed, and so the more you can just
And how long did you have to spend before you even got evacuated?
So
about that experience.
So that was in the morning on the Sunday. In mid-morning on the Monday, we were able to wade back to here and just see. And by the afternoon here, the water had pretty much gone out of the house. So it was pretty much just a day. But yeah, then we were just I honestly just stood around for quite a bit and went somewhere else and stood there and looked at it. And
What was the feeling like?
I had no idea. Like, I just started the Christmas break. As I said, my husband was visiting. He was here for 1 week, and I thought, what am I going to do? How am I going to get this done while I have help, while I have a chance to get it done? I didn't realise there was going to be the huge community effort from the Mud Army, which is just the relief when we found that out, because I honestly just stood here looking at it all going, I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's like, it's in 6 more days, it'll be just me. What am I going to do? You know, and then he just sort of stood around and and I picked a few things up and like moved it over there, and then so the next day the Mud Army was already here. So that was it was fantastic. But we actually still couldn't get out of Machans because the road was still cut, so the Barron River was still up all over the highway, and we couldn't leave Machans, and the SES wouldn't take anyone unless it was a medical emergency. So, yeah.
So what did you do?
We actually got a local to take us out, and it was actually just a young teenager that we had known earlier when we'd lived here before, now an adult, and it was like, hey! So the last 3 weeks have basically just been re-meeting people and seeing how they've been, you know, because I've been away for close to 10 years, so just catching up. So yeah, this teenager is a grown adult, and he had a boat, and he was in here taking people out so they could get out, go to work, catch flights, do the things that they needed to do, or just get to accommodation, so if they had nowhere to stay. So I could have stayed at my dad's, but he didn't really have a lot of space because he had a family of 7 in there, as well as him and his wife. And my brother's in Smithfield, so I could get to there and not, you know.
Who was the young lad that with the boat?
Jess. Yes, local Machans boy.
Yeah.
We were very happy to see him, and yes, thank you very much. So he took us out and told us that he was being hassled by the police for doing it. So, I mean, I think that's part of that. They're thinking of the safety. Who wants to save another person if they don't have to? But if no one else is taking us out, who will? Yeah, so I put a call out to the Mud Army that next day because thinking about coming back in and cleaning up, I didn't even know how to start it. Like, a fridge fell over and like I couldn't even pick it up, and it was full of food, but it had fallen over this way, so it was heavy and I couldn't get it up. If I just look at it, like, I mean, you can see the kind of, the bed frame was hardwood, so we were hoping to save it and not throw it, and, you know, a couple of other things, and it's just...
We all have something that we don't want to lose that's in our house. Like, is that something that has happened, or is that actually safe?
I'm ignoring that one. So because the Mud Army was here and everything was wet, there really wasn't anything much at all. I just closed my eyes and said, right, take it all. So I haven't thought about what was in there that is no longer in there. And that's one of the things, because I went to everybody's store down the street delivering food and finding out what they wanted, like, you know, how can we help, where are you at, what do you need, can I bring something to you, that sort of thing. I watched quite a lot of people just sifting through their stuff and not cleaning the house and not getting the people in straight away. So sitting for, 3 days or even 2 weeks to some of them, still not getting it cleaned out because they were trying to save every little thing they could. And I was glad I made the decision not to do that. My wedding ring and my engagement ring, my partner is Japanese, and his father was so upset when he found out that we got engaged and my husband didn't give me a ring, because in his, idea of how it works in the Western world, women need a ring. So he was a jeweler and he got me a diamond, and he took me to the jewelry area in Osaka and got a ring made for me. And so that is from my father-in-law more than my husband. Yeah, it's over there somewhere. I found the container it was in, but it was empty. So yes.
So I hope you find that.
I have little faith, because the container was there, but everything else in that area, not everything, but like anything that I did find, so I found a lot of shoes and stuff, was in the neighbours' backyard, well, their front yard, and the only reason that stopped is because they had bars on their patio, so it stopped any of the big things to go through.